Teams commands or in-app commands are shortcuts for performing common tasks in Teams. They are designed to provide quick access to certain features and actions directly from the chat interface. These commands are user-centric and are meant to enhance individual user experiences within the Teams client. And to get to the commands, go at the top to the search box or call it the command box and type /. These are the currently supported commands, depending on how Teams evolves over time, and if the product team at Microsoft adds or removes commands. Between now and when you watch this lesson, you may see more or fewer commands than what are shown here. Also, since these are client commands in the Teams interface, what you see here is determined by what features are enabled in the Teams admin center. The chat command, for example, allows you to chat with users. This command won't appear if chat is disabled on the tenant. Let's navigate through some of the commands and check out a few things. There are 21 commands that I can see here, and I can break them down into different categories. 6 commands are used to set your status. These are available away, be right back, busy, and offline. 3 commands I can use to chat, call, and join a team. So I can chat, call, and I can join a team. To jump to other areas or sections in Teams, I can use activity to check someone's activity, and also I can look at their org chart. So I can go to activity to see someone's activity, and also I can look at org to see someone's org chart. I can use files to go to the files pivot on the left hand side. So if I go to files here, now this will take me to the files pivot on the left hand side. It's not this files here in this specific chat window, but it takes me to the files on the left hand side. And the difference between the files here, now this is specific for this chat session between Alice, Bob, and John. So the files here are the ones that we are using in this chat session, whereas if I look at the files here, now this is for all the files across all the chat sessions and also teams and channels. We'll look at that later. So that was files, and then I can check my saved and unread messages. If I go to saved and unread, I can see the saved messages, and I can look at my unread activities and messages here as well. I can also search the page. If I do /find, I can go to a team or channel from here. I can get help as well. Also, I can ask who a question about someone, and I can check the latest updates or what's new in Teams if I do /what's new. I'm going to go through a quick demo and look at a few commands. First one, let's do chat, since we are still looking at the chat features. So if I do chat space, it's going to ask me for the person, and then I can type the message. Let me do Bob. So this is Bob Adams, and then if I type a message, let's do, this is a Teams commands chat. Okay, and enter. So send your message, and let's go to Bob Adams, and we haven't signed into Bob's Office 365, so let me do something else. If I go to teams.microsoft.com, that's going to take me direct to the Teams web client for Bob Adams, and let's sign in. And let's use the web instead. Let me go to chat, and I have this notification that tells me you have unread messages. I go to chat, and this is the one from John Smith. This is a Teams command chat. And now if I go back to John's, and let's do / let me do busy. Okay, so your status is being set to busy, and let's go back to Bob's, and this is now busy. And if I go back, and let me do activity, and let's have a look at Bob Adams activity, for example. Okay, I have nothing. And if I do again org, and let's have a look at Alice Williams, org chart. Alice is the manager, and then we have John Smith is the account manager. So that's org chart. And also if let's go back, and here if I look at files, let's do files, and these are all the files that I have in my files here. So if I go here, so these are the files that I could see. Now let's do the same thing from here, files, and these are the files I can see, and I can click on anyone that's gonna open in Teams, and I can see the files. Also I can go back here and go to unread. Let's have a look at see all your unread activities. Let's have a look. I don't have any unread activities. And also if I do, for example, /help, that's going to take me to Teams help, and we can look at the topics and help from Microsoft Teams. If you want to change your background, what's Teams Premium? If you want to switch to the new Teams, because we have the classic and the new Teams clients, chat, get starting, meetings, and other topics as well. And then one of my favorites actually is what's new. And from here, if you go to /what's new, you get to the latest updates from Microsoft Teams. And here we have what's new in Microsoft Teams. This is November 2023. And you can go through the updates and learn more about the new features we have in Teams. This was November 2023, and it goes all the way. I'll scroll down, and this is Jan 2022. So all the new updates and features are here, so we can learn about the new features in Teams if we do /what's new. Now the final one I want to talk about, and this takes me to the next topic, which is the shortcut, or the keyboard shortcut keys I should say, which is here, and go to keys. And these are the keyboard shortcut keys we can do in Teams. Now there are different keyboard shortcuts based on the client and the platform. So we have the web and we have the desktop app. So there are different shortcut keys depending on the client and the platform. So if you do control period, for example, let me do control period here, and it's the same across, which is here, it's same across the platform. So if you are in the web interface, if you are on the desktop app, it's the same one. So let me close this one and do control period, and that's going to give me the keyboard shortcuts window, which we can get through the /keys in the Teams command. So it's the same thing, control period, all the keys, the /keys in the Teams command will get us to the keyboard shortcuts window, which you can see all the shortcuts from here. And if you want to go to navigation, for example, we can go to activity, that's Control-Shift-1, chat, that's 2, and then we have Teams, that's Control-Shift-3, and then calendar 4, we have calls 5, files 6, and the last one is Power Apps, that's Control-Shift-7. And let me do that. So if I close this one on Teams, so this is Control-Shift-1, Shift and 1. This is activity, Control-Shift-2. This is chat, and then I have Control-Shift-3, and this takes me to Teams and the channels if I have any here. Control-Shift-4, this is my calendar, and then let's do 5, that's calls, and if I do 6, that's going to take me to files, and then 7, that's Power Apps. Okay, and back to control period, and these are the navigation. And then for messaging, you can Alt-Shift-C to go to the compose box, and then R to reply, Alt-Shift-R, and then we can go through meeting, calls, and calendar. So things like if you want to accept a call, that's Control-Shift-A. If you want to start a screen share session, that's Control-Shift, then we have E, and you can get all the commands and more information. If I now see shortcuts for our platform, and then we have Office Accessibility Center. If I click on this one, see shortcuts for all platforms, that's going to take me to this page, and then you can look at the different platforms. So we have the new Teams window, Teams Mac OS, and then we have the client Teams Windows. So you can go through these and you can look at the different keyboard shortcuts for Teams. Thank you.